Welcome to Jank Play TCG. My name's Landon, and here, I'm on vacation. I meant to record this before I went on vacation, but I ran out of time, so I'm recording it while on vacation. And I promised you an Amoonguss deck list, which I know Meloetta EX, it's not Amoonguss, but you can see Amoonguss is in the deck list. It's right over here. Let me just pull that. See, right there. But first, we got to talk about Meloetta EX, right? Because that's where the deck kind of starts from. And because of it, it's got Meloetta, and it's got Amoonguss. I'm calling it Singing Shrooms. Yeah, I hope you enjoy this. This is coming out on the day that the World's Championships is starting. So I don't plan on making another video on vacation, so you probably won't see anything until next Friday, sorry. But if they do announce something that I just gotta cover at Worlds, I will make a quick short little thing for that. So just to let you know. Anyways, Singing Shrooms, Meloetta EX is very interesting because of that debut performance ability that lets it attack on the first turn. This echoed voice attack that does 30 can actually be quite a big threat. So first off, it can knock out baby Pokemon like Budew, and that might lead to a Donk. If you don't know what a Donk is, I recommend you look that up. Plus, we have ways to make it stronger. Not only that, but it itself powers itself up because the next turn when you use Echoed Voice, you do 110, which is pretty good, right? I think it's pretty good, don't you? And so this can really start off the game strong for us, and that's what we're looking for. That's why we play 3 copies of Meloetta in this deck. The backup attacker is Amoonguss with the Dangerous Reaction. So for a colorless energy, you do 30 plus 120 if they have a special condition. The special condition that we will be working with today is Poison, brought to us by Brute Bonnet and the Toxic Powder ability. So we can poison our opponent's Pokemon, so then we can do more damage. Then they take poison damage, and that's just awesome. Plus, we use the Binding Mochi tool that allows our poisoned Pokemon to do more damage, leading to some really good one-hit KOs with Amoonguss up against stuff like Marnie's Grimmsnarl and Charizard EX. And in addition to all of this going on in the deck, we found room to throw in a 2/2 line of Dodrio for that zooming draw ability so that we can draw some cards using Pokemon abilities, but also as a backup attacker with that Ballistic Beak attack. So yeah, we got a lot going on in this deck. I feel like it can be very good and work very much to our advantage. But those are just the Pokemon. Let's go ahead. We'll check out the energy because it's nice and simple. 8 Psychic Energy. That's it. You know, Dodrio and Amoonguss are colorless attackers. Meloetta is the only thing with psychic requirement, so we play 8 Psychic Energy. And as we go into the trainers here, we got some interesting selections. So first off, we've got 2 copies of Boss's Orders, because I feel like every deck is just better when you got 2 copies of Boss's Orders. Then we got 2 copies of Buddy-Buddy Poffin. That is mostly to help us search for our low HP basics, because that's what it does, being the Dodrio and the Foongus. So next up, we've got 2 copies of Super Rod, and later on I'll mention 2 copies of Night Stretcher, because I feel like a 2/2 of those 2 cards makes a lot of sense and is just very well rounded. Then we've got 3 copies of Artazon, because we're trying to get our basics into play as fast as we can. So we're going with Artazon in addition to those Buddy-Buddy Poffins, and yet we still play more. Let's continue. We've got Earthen Vessel here. Only 2 of them. I could see the argument of removing a Psychic Energy to add an Earthen Vessel or something like that. You know, it's really up to your personal preference. And then we've got 4 copies of Atticus, which might be a few too many. I'll agree to that. But it's an awesome card, right? When our opponent's Pokemon is poisoned, which that's what Brute Bonnet does, Atticus is a Shuffle Draw 7. And Shuffle Draw 7 is ridiculous. It's so good. Love it. Then we got 4 copies of Arven. Arven being one of the best supporters in the game. You get to search for an item and a tool. We're playing 2 different tools. We're playing many different items. It's going to be a great time all around. We've got 3 copies of Ancient Booster Energy Capsule. I do only play 2 Brute Bonnet, but we can recover Brute Bonnet where we cannot recover Ancient Booster Energy Capsule, which is why I play 1 more of it than the Brute Bonnets, right? Then we've got 4 copies of Binding Mochi. When our active Pokemon is poisoned and it has Binding Mochi attached, it does 40 more damage, which turns the Amoonguss up to, it moves it up to 190 damage, plus 10 more for poison going into my opponent's turn. That's right, you can knock out an enemy's Meloetta with an Amoonguss with a Binding Mochi in 1 turn. That's pretty awesome. Next up, we've got Hyper Aroma. As our ace spec, I could see an argument going Precious Trolley since we have so many basics that we're trying to get out and trying to work into this mess, but Hyper Aroma is there to grab our stage 2s, which we do need quite desperately. I felt like if I ran more Ultra Ball, that would just be too much discard for my liking, so we went with Hyper Aroma, but you know, season to your taste, right? Here are the 2 Night Stretchers I mentioned earlier. Night Stretcher, being able to grab something directly from the discard into your hand. Super Rod shuffles many things from your discard pile into your deck. So yeah, they both have their uses. And like I said, a 2/2 of those 2 cards is just, it works pretty well. Then we've got 2 copies of Nest Ball. This is to grab any basic, mostly our Meloetta and Brute Bonnet, since those can't be grabbed with the Buddy-Buddy Poffins, right? So yeah, we've got those. And then we've got 2 copies of Ultra Ball, so we can search whatever the heck we may need in that particular turn. Awesome. That's Singing Shrooms. Let's go ahead, jump into a match, and see how well I do. I did build this deck closer to Amoonguss's original release, the Black Bolt and White Flare release. So I'm sure the meta has come a ways, but I do think Amoonguss is going to make a stand at Worlds. I think there's potential here, and maybe someone that's a better deck builder than I, or a better pilot than I, is going to take Amoonguss further in that tournament than I could have in this particular deck list, right? Obviously, if I had dreams of making it to Worlds, I would try harder. But hey, we have a wonderful start. We've got the Meloetta. We can get Foongus and a Doduo turn 1. That's going to be fantastic. Are we going first or are they? They are going first. We are going second. So as long as they don't end with a 30 HP Pokemon in the active, which they don't even have one, this game should go for a while. So here we go. We got Charmander, meaning we'll probably come up against a Charizard EX. Most likely the dark one that's weak to grass, which is where Amoonguss comes in and really gets us where we need to be going. If I could top deck a Binding Mochi right now, I could actually knock out this Charmander, because Artazon can grab our Brute Bonnet, Ancient Booster Energy Capsule will turn on its ability, and then the Binding Mochi on the Meloetta, and the attack into the Charmander would be for 70 damage, and we would win. And then I would go on to a second game, because yeah, Meloetta can get cheap things like that going. Alright, so it's my turn, and I don't get a Binding Mochi off the top deck, which is too bad. But we got Artazon here. We're going to use Artazon. We're going to grab that Brute Bonnet right there. Yeah, just like that. Ancient Booster Energy Capsule. We are going to go ahead and go with Poison. This is going to kind of require my opponent to have Charizard EX this turn. And if they don't have that, then that's perfectly fine, you know? Then we'll just get the knockout on this Charmander. But this Artazon does keep it from being a donk, right? They'll definitely be able to get something else out onto the field. I'm just curious, do they have that Rare Candy Charizard EX right now? Certainly hope not. Air Balloon, okay. Rare Candy Charizard EX, okay. Air Balloon would give it free retreat, right? But why are they going to retreat? It's their moment of... They failed the Infernal Rain ability? What's going on here? Professor's research. How did they fail that ability? Did they accidentally click out of it, sort of thing? Maybe they didn't draw energy. Maybe. They did draw energy. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's see. Do we get Amoonguss? That would just be great. No, Doduo. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. We'll go ahead and Toxic Power again. Oh, it just dimmed. It did that last night too. I don't know why. Here we go. We got Artazon. Let's get another Foongus out here. There's a Foongus Amoonguss, and then a Psychic Energy onto the Foongus. And Echoed Voice. All right. I'm going to go turn on that light, because I think it helps. There we go. There we go. All right. So what has my opponent done? Looks like nothing. Sharon, draw 3 cards. Okay. Did they get a Fire Energy off that? Ultra Ball. Okay. Discarding Judge and Iono? Well, they probably don't want to give me too many cards, I guess, you know? If I could top deck a Arven, that'd be pretty sweet. Or a Boss's Orders. No, an Arven. I'd still prefer the Arven. So they put Charmeleon out in the active. I'm going to do 110 and get the knockout, you know? And we'll just get the knockout here. Beautiful. Maybe I didn't need to get the Toxic going. They haven't used Artazon. Hey, and I get Amoonguss. So if they get that Fire Energy, knock out my Meloetta, all I gotta do is play down Amoonguss, use Toxic Power, and I'm good to go, you know? So, Earthen Vessel, there they go. They're gonna search out some Fire Energy here. They do have to discard a card from their hand. Since they played it, they don't have a choice. Discarding a Judge. Okay. That's good news for me, you know. And they get their Fire Energy. There they go. They're going to get this knockout on Meloetta. They haven't played their supporter for turn, so I wonder if they're saving it for a particular thing, or if they're just going to let it rip. I don't know what to fill the time with right now. Okay, there they go. They got the knockout. They get 2 prizes. Little Foongus is going to move out into the act. Just kind of waddle out there. You know how Foonguses do. There they go. And then evolve the Amoonguss. Attach an energy to Foongus. Oh, I can Artazon. Might as well Artazon for a Foongus. Toxic Powder. And for 300, knock out that Charizard. Very nice. It does seem like our opponent is fairly new. So I am going to jump into a match after this one to really, you know, test it out. But you're kind of seeing how the deck is supposed to perform, right? And it's performing quite well, in my opinion. I would still love an Arven, though. An Arven would still be great. So there's a Super Rod for my opponent. Getting the whole Charizard line back. Makes sense, makes sense. They got 9 cards in their hand. There's the Ultra Ball. Do they have a rare candy? Do you think they have a rare candy? I'm going to say no and then be shocked when they pull out Charizard EX here. Oh, they just pull out another Charmander. They had Artazon. Weird. Strange. Confusing times. There they go. Now Artazon. They're getting another basic out. And it is Torchic. Alright. Alright. Shooby dooby. Doop doop. All right, they draw 3. There they go. Maybe they got a Charmeleon there. Nope, looks like they got Fire Energy, though. Rare Candy. Okay, here we go. Charizard EX again. Yep. Infernal Rain. They're going to go ahead. Yep, and they use the ability this time. Cool. Now I'm just going to place up this Foongus. Toxic Powder. 300 damage. If I get a Binding Mochi through like an Arven or something, that would be pretty sweet right now. They forgot to give it. I shouldn't laugh. That was mean. I apologize. Wow. All right. Well, let's go ahead and Toxic Powder. We'll do 300. Then the poison will do 10 more, so 310. Then it will pass back to me, and it will be 320. And then it will pass back to them, and it'll be knocked out, of course. Combuskin. All right. So, there is an argument, like, should I boss's orders up that Combuskin? Get rid of the fire energy that's on it and go for the knockout, right? Like, that's definitely an argument. Ooh, what do I put up? I'm going to put up Doduo. I know that may sound weird, but I'd hate to put up an Amoonguss and then have it be knocked out before it really does anything, you know? Oh, look, I got another Amoonguss. And we'll just go ahead and end our turn. There they go. We get that knockout for 2 prizes. Very nice. Now we just need 1 more knockout, and we got the boss's orders, and we got Atticus. We got so much going on for us. Oh, I guess it's a 3-3 Dodrio line. I thought it was a 2-2. Whoops. The correct deck list will be in the description, as usual. So bring out Combuskin. Maybe they've got the Blaziken in hand, ready to go. Maybe they're just looking to do that 50 damage. Nope, there's the Ultra Ball. It's got to bring out the Blaziken, right? I think Blaziken even has an ability where it can attach an energy from the discard to itself. Well, to any Pokemon. Oh no, it's a 2 energy attack, so they won't even need to worry about that. But I will definitely have to boss's orders, knock out this Charmander here on the bench, unless they evolve it, which then will be the Torchic that they brought out. Wow, they had Rare Candy Charizard right there. Okay. Still, all I gotta do is knock out this Torchic and I'll be fine. Not bad. It seemed like our opponent was struggling to get the concept of the deck early on, or maybe they just made too many misclicks, and then they really dialed in, it feels like, and they did a bit better, you know? But we just need that 1 prize, so that boss's orders will do it for us. I'm going to put up the fancy art of Amoonguss because why not? You know? It's the only one I have. Oh, I've only got 1 of them. I've got the Pokeball Amoonguss reverse holo thing, but nah, this is just fine. Alright, and then we've got to boss's orders up the Torchic. Toxic Powder. Swing away. There goes that Torchic. Alright, let me see the time. How long did that take? Yeah, let's do 1 more. We'll see how well we do. Win or lose, we'll call it after that. You know. But we did really show off that deck nicely and how, like, it's supposed to be played, right? So let's go ahead. Let's play 1 more. See what happens. Just have fun with it. And hope we don't get destroyed too badly, you know? But yeah, let's go. I saw like Team Rocket Coin or something like that, so. Tails, we get to go first, which is great. That's exactly what we want to do. And what do we get for our starting hand? Nothing. It's a mulligan. All right, all right, come on. Shake it out, deck. Shake it out. Let's get ourselves Meloetta, Brute Bonnet, Binding Mochi, Ancient Booster Energy Capsule, and an energy. 5 cards. That's all I'm asking for. Those 5 cards out of the 7 that I draw. 8 if you count, yeah, the turn 1 draw. Done. We got none of that. Well, we did get Dodrio, so that's fun. And we got Brute Bonnet. That's also fun. Ooh, and so we got the Ancient Booster Energy Capsule, so we can get the poison out, and I can get damage done on Doduo quite early, which I like. So, yeah. Oh, wow. Okay. 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 Let's get that poison going, huh? Let's get that poison going nicely. Yeah. And that would be a knockout. But I can't attack. I can't attack. If it was Meloetta instead of Doduo, I would have had this game by now. It just would have been done. But it's Team Rocket's mouth, so I gotta wait. I'll knock it out next turn. Professor's Research, throwing away a lot of good stuff. Holy cow. Brilliant Blender. Okay, what are they? I thought Team Rocket's... How does Team Rocket's Persian work? I forget. It might take them a while. Okay. Okay, so they've got the Porygon in here, don't they? That's what I'm seeing. They got the Porygon in here. There it is. There it is. Beautiful. All right. Yep. Yep. Okay. Unless I top deck Boss's Orders, you know? Okay. Didn't think I would, but you never know, right? So let's go ahead and Atticus. Shuffle, draw, set. Let's see. We can grab a Foongus and a Doduo. Hold on. No, I'm gonna grab 2 Foongus. Just, I want to be safer, you know? Be on the safe side of things. And then I can zooming draw, don't forget it. Oh, I should have gone Doduo. Ballistic Beak for 100. Knock out this Meow. Alright, then they've got this Porygon with no energy currently, which is interesting. I believe Porygon 2 needs 3 energy, and Porygon 3, that's not what it's called, Z. Porygon Z requires 2 energy. So, unless they like rare candy, okay, that's fine. I'm completely built right here. I've got this Meloetta too, so I can do 70 with this Meloetta if I need to. But I don't think I will. Ooh. Articuno. I don't think that affects me. Does it? Prevent all effects of attacks. Yeah. So Brute Bonnet still works. Nice. Okay. Meloetta. Right there. Zooming draw. Ultra Ball. Ultra Ball can go get me an Amoonguss, and an Amoonguss can start getting knockouts. I'm gonna do it. It seems risky, but I'm gonna do it. Done. Retreat. Let's go. 150. All right. There we go. Arven can be good. Arven can be real good. Binding Mochi would be pretty awesome right about now. The Arven can grab us a nice a nice Hyper Aroma and grab us another Amoonguss, or we could grab something like a Nest Ball or a Buddy-Buddy Poffin to get another base account. There's that Porygon too. Yeah, it requires 3 energy. Impact energy is a thing now, so they could be playing around with one of those, but it doesn't look like they are. All right, Arven again, nice. That's Arven. We're gonna grab. I want to grab Buddy-Buddy. Where's Buddy-Buddy? There's Buddy-Buddy. Ooh, a Night Stretcher's not bad. And we'll grab a Binding Mochi. Buddy-Buddy. Let's grab a Doduo. So next turn we're going to grab Hyper Aroma. We got more than one thing to evolve, right? And we can zooming draw an Amoonguss. All right. So we will continue to have one thing to draw. And then we can Toxic Powder, and we'll get this knockout on Meowth. We do still need a energy. I can grab Night Stretcher with Arven, and that can grab me a energy for Amoonguss, because I retreated, right? Or we could just Atticus. That's a good choice. That's a good choice. Also a good choice is if we top deck a boss's orders, so I can knock out this Porygon Z before it becomes an issue. Team Rocket's Giovanni. Oh, okay. Do they have the Team Rocket's energy already? I'm guessing so with that move. We're going to have the Brute Bonnet. That's not a bad choice. And they probably have knockout, I would guess. I would guess. So I can Nest Ball Ancient Booster Energy Capsule and have, boom, just instant. Oh man, they're going to hate me. Yep, okay. You got that. Congratulations. I could just get knockout with this, couldn't I? Yeah, I'm doing like 160. But no, let's have fun. Let's have fun, right? Like, what's the point if we're not having fun? Another Atticus. Alright, so let's definitely do Nest Ball. Ancient Booster. Okay, first. See, I checked. I'm so glad I checked. Because instead of Nest Ball, we'll grab Night Stretcher. That was a close one. Night Stretcher. Let's grab Brute Bonnet. Brute Bonnet comes back down. Ancient Booster Energy Capsule. Very nice. Toxic Powder. Zooming Draw. On the Amoonguss. And let's go. 150 for the knockout. Kaboom. Heck yeah. We only need 2 more knockouts. That's insane for me. This is going better than the last game did, I feel. There's the Brute Bonnet too. That's the only 1 Ancient Booster Energy Capsule is in the discard, right? No, 2. Yikes. This is my last one. That Brute Bonnet's pointless. Oh, jeez. They figured out my strat. Ugh. How embarrassing. But let's see. Ultra Ball. Oh, they discarded Porygon Z, so they're going for Porygon 2. Do they have the impact energy here? I don't think I play Switch, do I? No, they have reversal energy. Okay. So, this is bad news. I don't have the energy that I need. I don't have a way to get it, so... Brute Bonnet. Zooming Draw. Psychic Energy. Oh, thank goodness. Retreat. Bring this guy up. And we'll get this knockout. Heck yeah. Just need 1 more. 1 more. How can I do it? Just need 1 more. I don't know. They forfeit. Thank goodness. Oh my gosh. I had no idea how I was going to get that last knockout. And they forfeited. Well, we will take that win That was fun. I hope you enjoyed these 2 games of the singing shrooms, and I will continue to enjoy my vacation and be watching the World Championships. Join my Discord if you want to like chat during it. You know, call out a play so I can like run to the TV or something. You know, if I miss it, or I'll talk about stuff in it. You know, so yeah, thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate each and every one of you, especially my members. Sorry if someone new joined, but from what I remember, it's Clinton, Link Hawkins, and Phil Across the Pond. Those are my members. If you want to join my membership, $1 just shows your support for me. And, you know, I've been doing these shout outs, so I'll probably continue doing those shout outs. And then also, you can go up to $5 and get videos early, which you don't have any right now. But when I get back into content creation, once I'm back from my vacation, I think you will be pleasantly surprised at how far in advance I pre-record things. So thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate even those that aren't members. Just, you know, like, subscribe, that kind of stuff. And of course, until next time, keep playing Jank.